All right. Hello, everyone. I'd like to give a warm welcome to all that are watching. And I want you to stick close because this is a good one. This is a good video because I'm telling you, you're going to get some information that proves beyond the shadow of a doubt that African Americans fulfill the 400-year prophecy that Almighty God gave to Father Abraham, and that also the African Americans are Israelites in America that have been here and fulfilled the 400 years. So um, let's get started. So the last video I talked about a bit about Bible prophecy, Deuteronomy 28, and how it connects African Americans and other Israelites to the slave trade. But let me do quick background just for people who may not know. We're gonna dig straight into the to what we to the subject matter. This book is called The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, written by Stephen Jacobs. And it's a great book. I recommend it. And you can find it on Amazon and probably other places you can buy it. But it's very reasonable. But anyway, it says on the back page, the Hebrews Israelites of biblical times, who and where are their descendants today? Stephen S. Jacobs, a European Jew and historian, tells it like it was. In this documentary, which proves conclusively that most people of African descent living in America and other parts of the Western Hemisphere as a result of the African slave trade are offspring of the ancient Israelites. We are the true children of Israel. He just said it. We're the offspring of the ancient Israelites. We are the Jews. Okay, let's look on page 9. It says, paragraph 1. He goes farther than simply documenting the influences of the Hebrews in West Africa. He concludes that the ancient Hebrews are parent stock from which present day Black American peoples actually evolved. So we are bloodline descendants of the ancient Israelites, the same people who you read about in the Bible: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, um, and Isaiah, and Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, and so many more. Um, we are the children of Israel, Elijah. And so now, all right, let's go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 to 14, and then we're going to go right into it. When the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram. Now terror and great darkness fell on him. And he said to Abram, know for sure that your offspring will live as foreigners in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them. They will afflict them for 400 years. I will also judge that nation whom they will serve. Afterward, they will come out with great wealth. So the nation's going to be judged. Now, listen, the Israelites are to be serve 400 years in a land that's not theirs. And now, so so let's take a look at a USA Today article. And as we read from this point onward, let's realize, put the Black Americans, look, when you look at us, realize that we're the Israelites. So when I read this article, realize that this article is about Black African American Israelites. Okay, picture us and understand that we're the true children of Israel. And I had I had got this from the USA. In 2019, they came out with this, February 2019. So let's look at this article. 1619, 400 years ago, a ship arrived in Virginia bearing human cargo. Um, Now, written by E.R. Ship. Okay. After having been kidnapped, from their villages in what is present-day Angola, forced onto a Portuguese slave ship bound for what Europeans call the New World, and stolen from that ship by English pirates in a confrontation off the coast of Mexico. Some 20 and odd Negroes landed at Point Comfort in 1619, in the English settlement that would become Virginia. Okay, so many people consider that point in which in 1619, the beginning of chattel slavery officially began. There have been slaves in America before, but not the complete system of slavery as it became known. Now realize this, that it calls right here, it calls some 20 and odd Negroes. Now, we know that the race known as Negroes is who was taken and brought to the Americas, okay, who was on the ships. And I've mentioned it before who Negroes are. So we read from one book that it was that African Americans and other descendants of the transatlantic slave trade are Israelites. But let's take a look at this so we can know exactly who Negroes are, okay? Next we'll look at a couple of sentences from this or part of a paragraph from this book, The Jew and Negro, written by Arthur Talmadge Abernathy. So this book is about that. The Jew is a Negro. We are the Jews. But on page 14, in the last paragraph, it says, it would be better to say that the Negro descended from the ancient Jewish type or Mediterranean race. It is hardly correct ethnically to reverse the sentence. So he's saying it would the Mediter it that the Negroes came from the ancient Jewish type, and not the other way around. We are the originals, okay? And so now we are Mediterranean people. Now, or not Mediterranean, but originally our people are Middle Eastern, the Negro. So you got that. So from now on, when I read this USA Today article, I want you to, in the rest of this video, I want you to change the name of Negro, who the race that black people are, and switch in your mind, put Israelites. Negroes are Israelites. So think of Negroes as Israelites or the true Jews from this point onward, and you'll understand this a whole lot better. The message that is being presented. Okay, now let's continue with the USA Today article. Okay, the harrowing journey that began with about 350 Africans on board the San Juan Bautista was one of terror, hunger, and death, even before the encounter with the pirates. About half of the Africans who boarded the Portuguese ship died. Some of the millions who perished during the Middle Passage from the 1600s to the 1800s. When the San Juan Bautista docked near what is now Veracruz, Mexico, on August 30, 1619, there were 147 Africans on board. 50 had been taken by those English pirates on board two ships, the White Lion and the Treasurer. Okay, and also in Veracruz, Mexico, there are Afro Israelites, slaves that were taken there, and their descendants, black Israelites, down there until this day. Okay, and so now, when the White Lion arrived unheralded in Point Comfort, the captain's immediate task was to sell the Africans in exchange for food. So begins that the official beginning of slavery. Now listen to this. Few ships before or since have unloaded a more momentous cargo. Historian and journalist Lerone Bennett wrote in his 1962 book, Before the Mayflower, A History of the Negro in America. Okay, so this book here, you see what the book is called. It's the History of the Negro in America. What it really is saying is the history of the Israelites of God in America. What it's really saying is the history of the true Jews, bloodline Jews of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the family of Moses, the ones who and so we're the descendants of the people who wrote the Bible. The Israelites were black; they were never white. So now, so a history of the Israelites in America, and this is what this is all about. That sums it up until now to the year 2025. Okay, so this is from 2019, the 400th anniversary of the Africans' arrival in what is now the USA is being observed this year. The Association for the Study of African American Life and History, the custodian of Black History Month, is paying tribute. Congress established the 400 Years of African American History Commission, and for more than 2 years, the Hampton 2019, blah, blah, blah. So realize that this ended, that 2019 ended the 400 years in regular years, okay? All right, so that's 400 years. Now let's connect that with the Bible. So we know that the black people who arrived on the slave ships and the black people that are here now, African Americans, we are the Israelites. And we also know that Negroes are Jews. Negroes are Israelites. We are the children of God, Almighty God Yahweh from the Old Testament. So we'll connect it now with that being, okay, with those facts being presented. All right, now let's take a look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64, and then we'll go to verse 68. Verse 64, Yahweh will scatter you among all peoples from one end of the earth into the other end of the earth. Okay, I'll stop right there. So there's no other group of people than our people, the Israelites, the Negroes, the African Americans, and the other Negroes in other places. We're the only people in the history of the earth that has happened to. We were sent all places, different continents, as slaves, hundreds of millions. Okay, now and verse 68, Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again with ships by the way which I told you would never see again. So listen to that. Yahweh said he'd bring us into Egypt again with ships. Now who would want to believe that now that we know that the African Americans are the true Jews of Israel, now that we know that African Americans are the Israelites, who would believe that it's a coincidence that in verse 68 it says Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again? Well, by ships. It predicts that we go into Egypt. Now, what is Egypt? So let's look at what Egypt is. Micah chapter 6, verse 4. For I have brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage. Many versions say slavery. The New Living Translation says, I have redeemed you out of the house of slavery. So slavery Egypt is considered slavery, not just the country of Egypt. Let's go to Judges chapter 6, verse 8. Yahweh sent a prophet to the children of Israel, and he said to them, Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of slavery, out of the house of bondage, out of the house of slavery. Okay, so Egypt is the house of slavery. Egypt is slavery. So now let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 again. Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again with ships. It's saying Yahweh will bring you into slavery again with ships. It actually predicts, the Bible predicts that we would be sent into slavery in ships. The Bible predicts, and that is exactly what happened. It happened in bigger than anything that ever happened. The Bible predicts that the African Americans, the Israelites, would be sent to slavery in ships. That's the truth. That's who we are. Peace and blessings to you.